So a lot of people use phrases like fascism, authoritarianism, and stuff like that. Let's just simplify this. Donald Trump wants to be a dictator. He wants to be a king. This idiot posted this over the weekend talking about declaring war on Chicago. Okay, this was a Truth Social, whatever the hell that thing is as. And so if y'all can show it, that'll be great. So he literally declaring war. Like, look at this idiot. Okay, and the White House fully embraces this. All right, so this took place, and keep in mind how this man talks. Now remember, he was talking in the Oval Office about crime, and he literally said about some black folks, "Oh, you know what? These people, they're always going to be criminals." Watch this.
Criminals. These are hardcore criminals. You know, we took many people off the streets of Washington, D.C. They're hardcore. They're not going to be good. In 10 years, in 20 years, in 2 years, they're going to be criminals. They were born to be criminals, frankly. They were born to be criminals, and they're tough and mean, and they'll cut your throat, and they won't even think about it the next day. They won't even remember that they did it. And we're not going to have those people. Washington, D.C. is now a safe zone. It's a safe place.
I want you to play it again. That man literally was talking about black people. Play it again.
Criminals. These are hardcore criminals. You know, we took many people off the streets of Washington, D.C. They're hardcore. They're not going to be good. In 10 years, in 20 years, in 2 years, they're going to be criminals. They were born to be criminals, frankly. They were born to be criminals, and they're tough and mean, and they'll cut your throat, and they won't even think about it the next day. They won't even remember that they did it. And we're not going to have those people. Washington, D.C. is now a safe zone. It's a safe place.
This is the same racist who called for the Central Park Five to be put to death. Governor Wes Moore, this was his response to Donald Trump's call for the National Guard.
They're hardcore. They're not going to be good. In 10 years, in 20 years, in 2 years, they're going to be criminals. They were born to be criminals, frankly. They were born to be criminals.
And I want to speak directly to our children as well. And please hear me loud and clear. Do not listen to what Donald Trump called you yesterday. When the president from the Oval Office calls you natural-born killers, children who are born to be violent, I say this: I respect the office, but I will never honor ignorance. To our children, you are loved and you're needed. To our children, we believe in you and we invest in you. To our children, we love you and we are going to honor every God-honored potential that you have. To our children, there's nothing we won't do to keep you safe. To our children, we love you and we are going to make sure that you are never bullied. And I don't care what position they hold. Because I want to be clear, if I listened, when I was coming up, if I listened to the tropes and to the trolls, if I listened to the haters and the heartless, if I listened to the Archie Bunker mindset and the dog whistling, if I spent my time focusing on those people who did not love me instead of focusing on those people who do, I would never be the 63rd governor of the state of Maryland and the only black governor in the United States of America. Here in Maryland, we believe in you. We're going to support you. We're going to make sure you're safe. And we're going to make sure that every God-honored opportunity is within your grasp.
AD, simply that's how that racist feels, and he doesn't care. He literally said, "Oh, these black folks, they're born criminals."
Yeah, well, you know, this is maybe one of the subtle benefits of police and what folks teach is that we can hear this man speaking in the ways that he's speaking, and we've become so desensitized to it that we don't even see it as alarming as it really is. Of course, we know that war metaphors have never gone over well for Black folks in this country. Even when they went back and tried to turn it into something about cleaning up, those metaphors also still have not done much benefit of Black folks in this country. But then we have to understand that the naked racism that we are seeing now, I don't know if there's a point in time where it hasn't existed. It's just that now the person who is the president of the United States feels so emboldened to say those things from that office in his capacity as president of the United States. And please, please understand that there are lots of people who absolutely believe what he's saying. And so our efforts to combat it, I don't even know if our efforts to combat it should be at the level of trying to intervene and say that what he's saying is wrong, so much as we have to be able to shift this conversation in such a way that we're not engaging with the garbage that he spews, but we're making it very clear what that garbage is related to, like what it has done. Like the war metaphors correspond to terror against Black people. And so I think that we need to make that, we need to make it explicitly.
I don't believe, Omekongo, that we have a choice here but not to call out. It's a perfect example. So Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt gives one of the most racist speeches last week. We called it out. We told our folks about it. Hey, Chuck Schumer, he ain't said a word. Bernie Sanders ain't said a word. Elizabeth Martin ain't said a word. I don't think Ken Martin has said a word, chair of the Democratic National Committee. And so I think part of the deal, and this is their whole deal, well, it was a distraction. No, here's the piece. We've got to have the exact same focus as Black folks did during Jim Crow. We've got to be willing to call these people out, because we also have to use these moments to raise the issue, call them out, so we can educate our own people, so people understand. So all these brothers in neighborhoods across the country who were sitting here like, oh, Trump is going to put money in my pockets. No, he thinks you're thugs. He thinks you were born a thug. He wants to put you away. And I think, again, we do not have the luxury of ignoring the racist diatribes that come from this man's mouth. It is without a doubt Donald Trump is the most racist occupant of the Oval Office since that virulent racist Woodrow Wilson.
Well, one thing on Senator Schmidt, I didn't see anybody covering it until after it was talked about on your show, to be clear about that. When we talk about, Trump being the most racist since Woodrow Wilson, that's absolutely true. And one of the things people have to pay attention to, as we do here at Black Star Network, the language that this man is using, Roland, as you know better than anybody, is the same language that led to the 1994 Omnibus Crime Bill. This is that super predator talk. This is all of that talk that Hillary Clinton used. That this is all of that talk over and over again. And on top of that, Trump is actively talking about, I'm looking to meet with Mike Johnson and Thune to talk about a crime bill. That is the language they are using. And these other networks and platforms are not talking about that. He wants to bring back another form of the 1994 crime bill. And we know what it did to our community. And the fact of the matter is that people are not picking up on that. And they're just saying, oh, that's just Trump being Trump. He goes against everybody. He's using direct language to justify this is the same language. The language that he used about Latinos is the language that helped justify what's happening to that community right now. And so now he's throwing out more language about us, the criminals, the violent, born to be this way. All of the talk that has been used in this country historically to keep us down, to keep us in prison, to keep us enslaved, to keep us shackled, he's bringing it all back, because he knows that there's an audience for it, and he knows that these Republicans will give him whatever he wants. And so, yeah, we need to call it out. We need to challenge businesses that support him in any way, shape, or form and support this type of rhetoric, because if not, those same brothers who are going to be like, oh, yeah, Trump put money in my pocket, now they're going to be like, Trump put me in prison. And that's what he wants, because he wants to please his billionaire prison industrial supporters who said when he got elected that this is going to be the best time in history for our business. And that's what he's about. He wants to put them in there just like he's putting people he's picking up off the street under these ICE raids as well. Gotta call it out.
And his hatred of black women continues. Yamiche Alcindor of NBC asked him about what he posted regarding declaring war on Chicago. And here is what the twice impeached, criminally convicted felon con man in chief, sexist SOB said.
That's fake news. When you say that, darling, that's fake news.
Well, why would
I don't
the
go to
Department
war.
of Defense?
Listen, be quiet. Listen. You don't listen. You never listen. That's why you're second rate. We're not going to war. We're going to clean up our cities. We're going to clean them up so they don't kill 5 people every weekend. That's not war. That's common sense.
Darling, be quiet. You're second rate. You don't listen. This is a statement the National Association of Black Journalists, I'm Vice President Digital, released. NABJ reaffirms commitment to press freedom and professionalism. The National Association of Black Journalists affirms the essential role that black journalists play in American democracy. For generations, our members have asked the tough but fair questions, held power accountable, and told the truth about our country with courage and professionalism. A free and fair press is not a partisan issue. It is the foundation of democracy. Journalists do not ask questions for themselves, but on behalf of the public. Respect for journalists and their work is more important than ever. When journalists show up to do their jobs, they should not be personally attacked and impugned by subjects they cover. NABJ will continue to champion black journalists like our 2020 Journalist of the Year, Yamiche Alcindor, who show up every day with integrity, rigor, and clarity, and who carry out the mission every day with professionalism and courage. We will continue to show up, ask the necessary questions, and do so with professionalism, rigor, and respect for our democracy. When we protect the press, we protect the people. Aaron Haynes, NABJ president. Christopher, again, the man, he can't stand black women. He hates when they question him.
Well, he can't stand women altogether. He thinks they're play toys that he can do with whatever time he wants. But he especially cannot stand black women. He especially cannot stand black educated women who are out there in the field asking the hard questions. So I applaud NABJ for actually having that type of statement put out. I applaud them for focusing on this, especially at a time when last year they invited Donald Trump to their conference in Chicago. We all know that blew up in a certain way. So now we're in a situation where they are calling him out like they always should have, and they are going further with it. The reason why I want to focus on that is because I want to focus on what Governor Wes Moore had talked about before. Governor Wes Moore gave a calling to all people saying, let's make sure we talk to our children. Let's make sure we talk to our children, our communities. Make sure that we can drown out all the noise constantly attacking black people. President Trump is going to continuously do this. If we can go ahead and make sure that our community, our children are saying, we're not going to listen to Orange Man, who is a felon, who knows absolutely nothing about us. And we're going to develop a community within ourselves. We need to have organizations like NABJ for a free that focuses on our issues. That's why it's great that they did that. The point is, like Governor Wes Moore said, we need to get ourselves. You know the saying about make sure you put on your mask first before you put on somebody else's mask when they're talking about an airplane? Before we save this country again, the American people, the black American people, need to come together in a community, make sure that we are together. So no matter what force is coming against us, we will rise above. And that's the way that we're going to take back this country for us and democracy.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase. Listen to what I'm about to tell you. The window to invest in Fanbase is closing. We've raised over $10.6 million of our $17 million goal. That means there's room for less than 6,370 people to invest in Fanbase for the average amount. The minimum to invest in Fanbase right now is $399. That makes you an owner in Fanbase today. Go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. Why? Because current social apps have taken advantage of users for far too long, with content suppression, shadow banning, harmful racist content, and no real tools for monetization and equity. Fanbase has over 1.4 million users and counting, allowing anyone to reach all their following and monetize their content from day one. Social media is the new TV, and whoever owns the apps that distribute that content have the opportunity to own potential billion-dollar companies. While big platforms with uncertain futures are failing to serve their users, Fanbase is stepping up to fill the gap. Don't wait until it's too late. Invest now, invest for yourself and your future. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and own the next generation of social media.